Here's our first example. We're going to start by sketching a picture with the information that they've given to us. The picture doesn't have to be accurate. We don't have to make sure that the angles look like they're the sides that they're supposed to be. You can see here that I just quickly sketched a triangle and labeled the given information. And obviously angle gamma, which is labeled 93 degrees, is not really 93 degrees if I look at the picture. But that's okay, the picture still helps me understand where everything is and how it fits together. So after I've drawn the picture, it's easy to see that I've got an angle, and a side. So that is one of the ways that we can use law of sines. And most importantly, we can see that we have an angle and a side across from each other. So we're going to want to use those as one of our ratios. And since we have this angle, it'll be really easy to find C by setting up two ratios and then cross-multiplying to solve that. Then, in order to find beta and b, we first have to realize that every triangle adds up to 180. So we can add these angles together, subtract from 180 to find beta. Once we know beta, then we can set up another ratio to find side b. Let's do that now. Okay, so I've started here already by finding beta. So I've taken the two angles that I know, 47 plus 93 equals 140. And then I take 180, subtract 140, and that leaves me with 40 degrees. So that is beta. Okay, so now we're going to use law of sines to set up our ratios and find side C. So we're going to use the sine of alpha over A equals the sine of gamma over C. So let's plug in what we know. We know that alpha is 47, so we're going to do sine of 47, and we know that alpha is 39, so over 39 equals the sine of gamma, gamma is 93, over C. Notice how we're only using two of the ratios, not all three of them. The original formula here is just to show us, that all three of them are proportional, but we only need to use two of them at a time. Okay, so now since we have a fraction on each side, the logical thing, or the logical way to solve this is to cross-multiply. So here we go, C times sine of 47 is C sine 47. And then 39 times sine of 93 is 39 sine 93. Then to get the C by itself, we divide both sides by the sine of 47. So it divides away from that side and moves over here. So now we plug this in the calculator. 39 times the sine of 93 divided by the sine of 47. I've put the parentheses in here because your calculator will automatically put an opening parenthesis. You need to make sure you close that before you divide the sine of 47. So this would also have a parenthesis in it, but you don't have to close that one. Although it's really good to get in the habit of doing so. Alright, well when we put that in our calculator, we should get 53 point, I'm going to round it to one decimal place, so 53.3 degrees. So there is beta. Now that we have beta, we can find the side across from beta, which is side B. So we're going to use the same information we had that was given to us, sine of A over alpha. I'd rather use A and alpha than use C, because C we just found and we rounded the decimal. If we use C to find the next answer, we'll kind of have a rounding error. So it's always good to use your original information whenever possible. So we're going to do sine of beta over B. So that gives us sine of 47 over 39 again equals the sine of beta, there it is, 40 over B. We cross multiply so that B is equal to 39 sine 40 divided by the sine of 47. So everything's the same as it was when we found C, except instead of gamma we have beta. Otherwise everything is the same. So we plug that in the calculator and we should get, try this first, see if you get the same answer, 34.3 degrees. So once we know everything for that triangle, we now know C, we now know B, we found beta, we have solved the triangle because we found all the missing pieces.